Remember opening a brand new game?
Yeah.
That feeling, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Whether it was a shiny disc or a cartridge,
Right?
it meant you got the whole game,
Yeah.
start to finish.
Exactly.
And, things aren't really like that anymore, are they?
Not so much, no. Games have changed, haven't they? Now we're in the age of games as a service. GaaS, as they call it.
Huh.
It's not just a one-time purchase anymore, is it?
No, it's not.
It's designed to keep you engaged.
And spending.
Yeah, exactly. And today we're diving deep into this whole GaaS world.
Yeah, we've got a ton of stuff to look at today.
Okay.
We've got some forum discussions, opinions from Reddit, a Wikipedia overview to keep things grounded,
Sound good.
and even some articles from gaming news sites.
Wow, covering all the bases.
We're going to paint a complete picture, all right. From how GaaS began to where it might be going.
Sounds good.
So, when you think about it,
Yeah.
GaaS didn't just appear out of thin air, did it?
No, not at all.
Mm.
You could say it's got roots in those old downloadable content packs.
Right, DLC.
Yeah, DLC.
Yeah.
Offering a little something extra for a few bucks.
Like what? An extra level or a couple of new weapons?
Exactly. But the real groundwork, I think, was laid with massively multiplayer online games.
MMOs.
MMOs, exactly. Think back to World of Warcraft, right?
Oh, yeah.
Early 2000s. Players paying a monthly fee just to keep playing, with expansions adding even more content.
And it all adds up, doesn't it?
It sure does.
But people were hooked.
They were hooked. But here's something interesting. There was this company, a big player now.
Yeah.
They were already all in on GaaS, even back then.
Who are you talking about?
Tencent.
Oh, wow, Tencent.
They were ahead of the curve,
Yeah.
especially targeting, the Chinese market.
Right.
PC cafes, mobile gaming.
Mm.
They knew how to monetize that as a service like nobody else.
They had a vision, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
But I think for a lot of people, that shift to GaaS that we all felt really hit home with free-to-play games.
Right.
And there's one game that changed everything.
Which one?
Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress 2, absolutely. That was a traditional paid game when it came out back in 2007. But then, the player base, it kind of dwindled. So Valve, they tried something radical. They released the Gold Rush update. And that changed everything.
The Gold Rush update.
Yeah.
What was so special about that?
They introduced cosmetic skins. Players could unlock new looks for their weapons, their characters, by, completing achievements, or they could buy them.
So even back then, people were already spending money to customize their experience.
Exactly. And it was a huge success. It let Valve keep developing the game, and then eventually they made it totally free to play.
That's a big gamble that paid off, didn't it?
Big time. But then, things went into overdrive when a certain battle royale came out.
You're talking about Fortnite.
Fortnite changed the game. Didn't invent the battle pass, but it perfected it,
Yeah.
For those who don't know, a battle pass, it's like a seasonal reward system. You buy it, and as you play, complete challenges. You unlock tiers, cosmetics, emotes, even in-game currency sometimes.
It's a digital collectible card game, except you're unlocking parts of the game's world and your own style.
That's a great way to put it. And Fortnite going free to play, having these battle passes, it set the standard for, this whole modern GaaS model.
And then you had other big games jumping on board, right? You had Grand Theft Auto Online.
Oh, yeah.
Turned Los Santos into this living, breathing online world, always adding stuff.
Yeah, and then you've got Warframe, which has been lauded for, being generous with its free-to-play model, focusing on those cosmetics instead of pay-to-win.
Yeah.
It really showed that you could do GaaS ethically.
Yeah, and players loved it.
They did.
Of course, not every game fits into this GaaS model, and we've seen successes and failures.
Right.
But that's a story for another time. So GaaS, right?
Yeah.
It's everywhere now.
It really is.
Big part of gaming.
Huge.
But is it a good thing?
That's the question, isn't it?
Are we missing out on those classic, complete games?
Right.
Because of all these microtransactions, all these promises, are we?
It's complicated, really. There are good and bad sides.
Okay.
Like anything else. Let's start with the positives.
All right.
One of the biggest arguments for GaaS is this idea of a game that's always growing.
Right. A living, breathing world.
Exactly. No more waiting around for a sequel. You're getting constant updates.
Expansions, new content.
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a perfect example of that, No Man's Sky.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
Remember when it first came out?
Yeah, 2016.
Not exactly what people were hoping for.
That's putting it lightly.
Right. But here's the thing. Hello Games, the developers, they didn't give up. They actually listened.
They did.
To the community, kept putting out these big updates. base building, multiplayer, even VR.
Hmm.
That's a comeback story.
It really is. That game could have just disappeared.
Exactly.
So that's a strong point in favor of GaaS.
Right.
This potential for a game to evolve with the community.
Together. And we can't forget about accessibility.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Free-to-play GaaS games, that's been huge. It opened up gaming to so many people.
Yeah, people who couldn't necessarily afford,
Sure.
a brand new $60 game every month.
$100, some of them now, right?
I know, it's crazy.
So easy.
I remember when I was a kid, getting a new game was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can just download a free-to-play and play for years, potentially,
And never spend a dime.
if you don't want to.
Exactly.
And it's not just players either, right? GaaS has been great for smaller studios.
Oh, absolutely. They don't always have the, the marketing budget.
right.
But a well-made GaaS game, if it's updated regularly,
Yeah.
it can find its audience.
Word of mouth is powerful.
The best marketing.
Yeah.
And look at Rocket League. Started small.
I love Rocket League.
Free to play, constant updates, esports scene. It's global.
Global
It
phenomena.
really is.
Yeah.
You can't underestimate that, when players love a game
Yeah.
and they see the developers care,
Yeah.
they tell everybody,
They become fans.
exactly.
Yeah.
No system's perfect, right?
Right.
GaaS has its downsides.
It does.
Let's talk about those.
Uh.
One of the biggest complaints you hear is that dangling carrot design.
Oh, yeah, the dangling carrot. What does that mean? Tell me more about that.
So you get these games launching as a service.
Right.
Maybe they're a bit thin on content at the beginning. The promise is updates are coming, expansions, all that.
Which sometimes they do.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But other times, those updates
Yeah.
never appear, or they're not what people were expecting,
Disappointing.
to say the least, especially when you've got into a game
Right. Based on those promises.
based on what you were promised,
Yeah.
right? Destiny, I'm thinking of Destiny,
Yeah.
this huge 10-year plan.
It was going to be huge.
But when it launched, it felt unfinished.
Yeah.
Too much repetition just to keep you playing.
Right. And then there's overpromising as well, isn't there? You get developers
Oh, absolutely.
caught up in the hype. They promise you the world.
Yeah, and then they can't deliver.
Yeah.
Disappointed players, even if the game at its core is good. And then, of course, there's the grind.
The grind. Oh, yeah.
Can't escape the grind.
It's in so many of these games.
It's everywhere, right? These repetitive tasks
endless loops.
designed to keep you playing, chasing that little reward,
The dopamine hit.
Exactly. But it's a fine line, isn't it? Some people love the grind,
Just part of
that sense of progression.
Yeah.
But for others, it's like the game's wasting your time.
Like a second job.
Exactly. Borderlands, for example.
Oh, yeah. I love Borderlands.
Great games, but they can get grindy.
They do get grindy.
At a certain point, you're not playing for the story anymore.
No, you just want the loot.
It's all about the loot.
Yeah.
And that leads to a darker side of GaaS, the psychological stuff.
Oh, what do you mean?
Things some games do to keep you hooked.
Okay.
FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of missing out.
I know.
Limited time events.
Right.
Daily bonuses. Log in every day, or you miss out.
Oh, I hate that.
It creates this urgency, this feeling that you're always missing something
Yeah.
if you're not playing, if you're not spending. And that's tough, especially for kids.
It is. And it can be really tough on parents' wallets, too.
Absolutely. Remember all those unimpressive emote controversies?
Oh, don't get me started.
Kids spending tons of money just to keep up with their friends.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
It's a tough one, right?
it is.
Because on the one hand, you've got these incredible games that could just keep going.
Right.
But on the other hand,
Yeah.
are they just going to try and take all our money,
It's a balance, isn't it? And then there's the whole thing with the servers.
Oh, right.
With Gort, when the regular game dies, that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
You could dig out your old console, blow the dust off.
Find the disc.
Exactly. But with these GaaS games,
Yeah.
if those servers go offline, your game's gone.
Ugh.
Just like that.
It makes you wonder, do we really own these games?
Big questions about ownership, yeah.
Even if you've put in hundreds of hours.
Hundreds of hours, tons of money.
Exactly.
It's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
But hey, it's not all bad news, right?
No.
There are GaaS games out there that are killing it,
They're doing it right.
showing how it should be done. Like we talked about before, Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League.
What's amazing is it's not just that it was successful. It's still going strong. Psyonix, the developers,
Yeah.
they get it. They listen to the players, always adding new stuff,
New modes, new features.
keeping it fresh,
Yeah.
even after all these years.
It's a game for everyone.
Exactly. Doesn't matter if you're casual or a hardcore esports pro.
got something for you.
It does. And then you've got Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge.
Shows no signs of slowing down.
What are they doing?
They've got it all figured out.
Yeah.
A massive open world, beautiful. You can explore it however you want.
Okay.
You want deep combat, they've got it.
Yeah.
And then there's the gacha system, which, yeah,
Yeah, it's controversial.
it can be, and it works. Always new characters to collect, you know?
It's addictive.
It is.
Mhm.
Like they've taken RPGs,
Yeah.
open world games, even card games,
They threw it all in there.
blended it all together into this one giant ever-changing thing.
It's a lot, but it works. But, you know, for every success story,
Right.
there are GaaS games that just, well,
Didn't make it.
yeah, they fell apart.
Anthem. Big one.
Whoa.
Anthem.
God.
So much potential.
Right.
Beautiful game.
The world, the combat, it was all there.
Yeah.
But development problems.
Oh, no.
Promises broken, not enough to do once you hit the end game.
People were so disappointed.
They really were. BioWare tried to fix it, they really did.
Yeah.
But it was too late. Anthem became the cautionary tale, you know?
Of what not to do.
Exactly.
And then there was Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
You'd think that would be a home run, right?
Marvel. Biggest thing in the world.
Should be easy.
You'd think so, but it just didn't work.
What went wrong?
The GaaS stuff felt tacked on. Okay.
The microtransactions, they were a bit much.
Yeah.
They had a dedicated community, passionate,
Yeah.
but it wasn't enough. Shut down after a couple of years.
It goes to show even a big name doesn't mean you've made a good game.
It's true. And the thing is, everyone wants a piece of that gas pie now.
Oh, yeah.
Every publisher, they're all trying to get in on it.
Too many games.
The market's flooded. It's tough out there.
It's tough for new games to get noticed.
To even survive, Sony, for example,
Okay.
they were going to do 12 new gas titles.
12.
They cut it down to 6.
Wow.
They realized it's not sustainable.
Not everything can be GaaS.
Exactly.
Ah,
And then you have a game like Conquered,
Conquered, yeah.
big budget shooter, came out a few months ago.
Right, I remember the trailer.
2 weeks later, gone.
No way.
Server shut down, project dead.
Wow, that's brutal.
Brutal, but that's the gas market.
So where do we go from here? Is this the future?
That's the big question.
GaaS everywhere.
For better or for worse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. There are definitely some worries about where GaaS is taking us.
Definitely.
But there's some good signs too, right?
There are, like Helldivers 2.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
People are excited about that one. Focus on playing together.
Okay.
And they're promising a full game at launch.
No waiting around.
No dangling carrots.
So maybe developers are learning, right?
I think so. They're realizing GaaS is about building a community.
It's not just about the money.
Exactly. But ultimately, the players decide.
We have the power.
You do. And that brings us to our final thought for today.
Okay, hit me with it.
If GaaS is about keeping players engaged, are developers really listening to what we want?
That's a good question.
Are they making games that are fun, that we enjoy?
Yeah.
Or are they just chasing profits?
It's something to think about.
It is. We've looked at the history of GaaS, the
Mhm.
good, the bad, the successes, the failures.
Yeah, we really went depth today.
We did. Now's your turn. What do you think? What are your hopes for the future of gaming? Let us know.
We'll be back next time with another deep dive. Until then, thanks for listening.